4 Raiders storylines just landed at once, and one of them might completely change how this team is built. A rookie lineman nobody trusted is suddenly outplaying veterans. A young running back is quietly becoming the most important player on the roster. The quarterback room has a hidden weapon nobody is talking about. And now, a name with deep Raiders history just leaked information that has fans buzzing. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll understand why Raiders Nation is feeling something it hasn't felt in years. Real hope. Before we get into it, hit that subscribe button right now if you want the fastest Raiders updates around. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Let's start with the ugly truth nobody wants to admit. The Raiders' offensive line was flat out bad last season. Not had some rough games bad. Actually bad. They ranked 22nd in the league in both run blocking and pass blocking. Their running game barely crawled to 77.5 yards a game. For a team that's supposed to be built on toughness, that's embarrassing. But here's where it gets interesting. Inside that mess, one young guard quietly gave fans a real reason to believe. His name is Caleb Rogers. 6'4", 312 pounds, and in just 6 starts last year, he posted a pass block win rate of over 90%. That's not a small stat you skip past. That's the kind of number that makes you sit up and pay attention. Analysts have pointed out that Rogers could be a perfect fit for the new zone blocking scheme coming to Las Vegas. And that matters, because scheme fit can turn an average lineman into a star overnight. Right now, Rogers is fighting for the starting left guard spot against 2 other names. One of them really shouldn't even be in the conversation. He struggled badly last year, allowed way too many pressures, and graded out near the bottom of the league. The other challenger is only 25, has real starting experience, and brings serious competition to the room. Here's a question for you. If a rookie with almost no starts is already outperforming grown men on this roster, what does that tell you about the future of this offensive line? But offensive line improvements only matter if somebody behind it can actually make defenses pay. And that brings us to the guy who might already be the most important offensive weapon on this entire roster. His name is Ashton Jeanty, and even in a broken, dysfunctional offense last season, he still made defenders look silly. 266 carries, nearly 1,000 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 55 catches, and over 1,300 yards from scrimmage total. And here's the number that really jumps out. He forced 61 missed tackles. 61. That's not clean running lanes. That's a guy creating something out of nothing, snap after snap. One respected NFL analyst even called Jeanty the most promising building block on the entire roster, and remember, this team just drafted a quarterback first overall. That says a lot. Now picture Jeanty with an actual functioning offensive line in front of him, running behind a coaching staff that knows how to use a do-it-all back. Veteran running back Raheem Mostert has reportedly said he's never seen anybody run through contact the way Jeanty does, over and over again. That's not a random compliment. That's a veteran recognizing something special, and when a veteran says that about a young player, you listen. So here's a real question worth asking. Who deserves more credit if this offense turns things around this year? The rookie running back, or the rebuilt offensive line in front of him? Drop your answer in the comments, because Raiders fans need to hear this debate. Now let's talk quarterbacks, because this is where things get heavier. Everybody wants to argue about who starts and who's the future, but there's one advantage in this rebuild that isn't getting enough credit. It's not arm strength. It's not draft capital. It's stability. After a rough collapse last season, the front office didn't just patch holes. They rebuilt the whole structure, and one of the smartest moves was bringing in a veteran quarterback to steady the ship. He's not the long-term answer, and everybody knows it. But he brings something a rebuilding team desperately needs. A professional presence who knows how to install an offense, handle adversity, and show younger players how to operate at this level. He's talked openly about trusting this new coaching staff and the system they're building together. He's also mentioned ownership having real football knowledge as a genuine advantage, something a lot of franchises simply don't have. That matters because this team isn't just adding talent. It's adding people who actually understand the position at a deep level. Meanwhile, the rookie quarterback taken first overall has been soaking up everything he can. He said he's constantly asking questions, listening to coaches, and trying not to let the pressure overwhelm him. No ego, no attitude, just work. And the backup quarterback, who has been through the ugly years with this franchise, says the room feels more collaborative than ever. He even joked that the veteran's energy is more playful than expected, and that it's helping the whole group loosen up. That might sound small, but quarterback rooms can get tense fast. A room that feels this connected right now is genuinely rare. But no matter how good the vibes are, everything still comes down to one player. The number one overall pick. The kid carrying the weight of an entire franchise's future before he's even taken a real snap. And this is where things get juicy, because someone with deep Raiders bloodlines just dropped a very telling comment. On a recent podcast appearance, a former Raiders quarterback with a very familiar last name revealed that he'd spoken directly with the team's quarterback's coach. And according to him, that coach is genuinely thrilled with how the rookie is progressing early on. Not perfect, not finished, but clearly ahead of where people expected. That's the kind of insider information Raiders fans hold onto tightly. Because physical talent alone doesn't make a franchise quarterback. Work ethic does. And every report coming out says this kid is putting in exactly that kind of work, learning from the veteran quarterback, the backup, and every coach in that quarterback's room. The coaching staff has reportedly said all 4 quarterbacks in that room are treating every single detail like it matters: footwork, timing, communication, everything. That's exactly how real development happens, not through hype, but through fundamentals. So here's where the Raiders stand right now. A young offensive lineman fighting to become a long-term starter. A running back who might already be the best player on the entire roster. A veteran quarterback bringing stability. A backup pushing everyone to be better. And a rookie quarterback being developed the right way instead of being rushed. Nothing is guaranteed yet. This is still the NFL, and results matter. But for the first time in a long time, these pieces actually feel connected instead of scattered. And if this coaching staff and front office get this right, the Raiders might not just be rebuilding anymore. They might be building something that finally lasts.